8 dead, 8 injured. The biggest massacre in VI history. Was this a conspiracy? Was this to divide the islands to make one more touristy and the other one more industrialized? Let me check this out. So, September 6, 1972, Fountain Valley. Yeah, we won't talk about this. Fountain Valley Massacre, St. Croix, USVI. It was in St. Croix, Fountain Valley Golf Course that was owned by the Rockefeller family. Yeah, them dudes. Big boys. Unfortunately, 8 people lost their lives. 4 were tourists, 3 were workers at the resort, and 1 was a local laborer. After the scene, the 5 individuals, including the ringleader, Mr. Labit, accordingly fled into the bushes. Big manhunt started. FBI, everybody came down here. They just started stop and frisk everybody. They gathered these 5 individuals who later was convicted and had a life sentence. Famously, Mr. Ishmael Labit hijacked a plane in 82 around there and landed in Cuba, where he is alive till today. Many conspiracies, and I've heard this growing up my whole entire life, was that was all a setup because at that time we had Leon Hess, and he constructed what was at that time the third largest refinery in the world in St. Croix. When it was up and running in the 70s, it was making about 500 million or thousand barrels per day. At that time, 70s, and had a lot of work camps. And given the tax exempts and everything else, it prioritized the job offers to outsiders and to locals. So there was a heated time in the whole world with the race issues ongoing and whatnot. And Fountain Valley found itself on September 6th with this massacre. Everyone here, even me growing up, heard a lot of conspiracies. Oh, that this was set up by the big guys so that we could divide St. Croix and St. Thomas, so that St. Thomas could be the tourist destination, the jewel in the Caribbean, and St. Croix to be basically the walkers' land. So I decided to, man, let me check this out. And apparently in the 60s, Kennedy appointed Mr. Governor Ralph Paiewonsky, who his parents was from St. Thomas, and they had a business, a successful business, and he was a smart individual himself. Mr. Paiewonsky in the 60s is who decided, this is the truth, he is who decided what goes where. And along with his decision, he chose St. Croix, known as Cross Lagoon, as Hess. We all know it as Hess now. That whole south side shore, that's just pristine beaches that nobody could access and is all probably messed up with all kinds of stuff now. But that was given to Hess as part of a plan to have this St. Croix as industrial and St. Thomas as the tourist spot. I've always wondered about this because the conspiracy theories, they all reign crazy sometimes. So, if you ever wondered why St. Croix is industrialized and we have the rum plants and black plants and refineries, and then St. Thomas is more of the place where you see the Gucci stores, the Ralph Lauren's, and you see more of the Americanized tourist destination. This is why. In the 60s, simple as that. Mr. Ralph Paiewonsky just said, hey, let's do this. And Leon Hess and everything else is history. If y'all want me to deep dive into the massacre itself, feel free to write in the comments below. And we'll do a quick deep dive into Fountain Valley Massacre and more on that. Y'all be safe, man. Check y'all on the next one.